Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. I mean that sincerely, and I don't know how many times people in public schools really appreciate the media coming back, but I really do in this case. My name is Donald Zimring. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the Las Virgenes Unified School. I appreciated all of you respecting the wishes to have our school day begin quietly today for 8 You Right. As you can imagine, the confluence of the events plus a recess for Thanksgiving has created a lot of questions, a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendos. And very sadly, and I don't think by anyone on purpose, but clearly by fact, a really terrific school has become a target for a lot of people thinking it's not a terrific school. And so what I wanted to do today before we take questions from you is to give you background, to give you some of the facts. Having a week off only allowed a lot of the questions to continue, and it did not enable our school administration to finish doing their investigation and interviews of students. So let me start with 8 You Right has 926 really terrific children. They're middle school children, and I'd ask each of you to go back to your junior high or middle school lives and careers. I'm a middle school teacher by trade. I was principal of 8 You Right for a wonderful year. And middle school kids do, there's no other way but to say it, dumb things. It's part of the growth process. It's part of the age process. And what you had here was a very small number of middle school kids, 9 kids out of 926, chose to do something they thought would be funny. At no time did they think it was hateful. At no time did they think in their wildest dreams it would bring on the consequences that it did. But for all of us, that's a wonderful opportunity to teach, and it's a hard lesson learned for some of them. But for all of you and for the people watching, you need to know that this is a school that every year conducts various donation drives, clothing for the needy, food drives. They've raised tens of thousands of dollars. And of all the schools in our district, probably no school takes more seriously the importance of embracing diversity, of celebrating how we're different, and protecting one another. So I think you can understand and hopefully get a little empathy when something like this happens and becomes a huge media story for a school that normally serves as a model where this doesn't happen. So let me briefly explain to you what did happen, and we'll be happy to respond to any questions. At approximately 8:30 in the morning, a week ago Friday, some students arrived before school. This happened before school. And several of them had received an email message that said, let's make Friday, November 20th Kick a Ginger Day. Now, admittedly, I actually know what South Park is. I have 3 grown sons who happen to really enjoy South Park. This was an episode I had previously missed. So many of the adults involved weren't even sure what this was. We had no other reports. But one of the students at 8 You Right went to the school office in the morning before school to say some students were being chased. I think it's important to note it was the students who went to the office. This is a school where the kids protect one another, and they knew that was wrong. So these students went to the office. The administration immediately went on campus. We had one student report to the health office that he had been kicked. He had been kicked by several kids, and he was injured. The mother came and took him to the doctor, and he was treated for a bruise. That doesn't make it insignificant, but it also didn't rise to the level of what some had reported, that he had a broken arm or that he was severely beaten. It did not happen. Doesn't make it acceptable, but we also have to put it in the context of what did happen.